Boys, welcome back to another video. You don't understand how excited I am to just record right now. I've been wanting to record, but honestly, to be honest with you, things have been like all over the place, okay? So I'm fasting for Ramadan. You guys already know that I'm Muslim, right? So like my schedule is literally all over the place. I wake up like around 10, 11, 12 p.m. sometimes and like it pisses me off because I'm on self-improvement. Like I'm a guy on self-improvement. I'm trying to improve myself, make myself into a better man. But yet like I'm still waking up late. And so that turns into like weird thought in my mind, like, oh wait, are you actually improving yourself? Are you actually on self-improvement? Are you actually pushing and growing? And you start to get in that negative state. I was in that negative state. I was in that state like, man, like, am I actually improving? Am I actually not? And then you start to question yourself, right? Like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? But then I realized there is no other way of living. There is no other way of living. Let me explain. This video is all about beliefs. It's all about the beliefs you have in your mind. You know what? This is such an important topic. I bought this book. Let me show you. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And you guys might have heard of this. If you've been on self-improvement or if you've been watching self-improvement videos, you probably heard of this. I never read this book. It came yesterday, but it's all about your beliefs. It's all about the beliefs that you hold in your mind. Because if there's one thing with God's permission that truly like differentiates the normal people versus the ones that like are making it in life, has to be beliefs. Also, of course, God allowed it to happen, right? And there's many blessings that God gave me and you. The fact that you're even watching a video about self-improvement, bro, that's a blessing from God. You better listen to this because there's many people out there in the world that don't know about self-improvement, that don't know about growing, that don't know that they can actually live a better life. They can have a better existence. They can become better versions of themselves. They can have a better marriage. They can have better charisma. Like they can be people that they always see online, but they don't know that's possible. They don't know that it's all about improving yourself. They don't know that, you know what I'm trying to say? So like, this is a big blessing that me and you have been given, and we better freaking take advantage of it. But the beliefs rather, are so freaking important, are so important. You know, I got this idea for this video because I realized that the reason why I've lived a different path to most people my age. I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm making $0 a month. I have to say this in every video because I have to be humble myself, okay? But I've lived a different path. I've lived a different path from like compared to most people. I've cut off my friends. I've, been on a dopamine detox. I don't eat bad food. I don't go out with friends until like 2 a.m. Only sometimes I do. Like yesterday, I went out with one friend, we got some like freaking smoothie at like 1 a.m. That's about it. Like, it's very rare. And to be honest with you, like, I don't like know what the freaking next TikTok word is. I swear to God, I haven't scrolled on TikTok for like 3 years. Like actually scrolling, I haven't scrolled on it for 3 years or almost 4 years now. And I don't know like what the new freaking trend is, I don't know. So I've lived more or less a different path compared to most people my age, compared to most people even older than me, There's just one person in my class, like a colleague, and he's always like, bro, do you know the last fight that happened between Paddy Pimblett and the UFC fight? I'm like, nah, bro, sorry. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, bro, do you know how Manchester City beat Liverpool in football or soccer? Nah, not really. Oh, do you know the last music video that came out? Oh yeah, the last trend on TikTok? Sorry, I don't know. Genuinely, I'm just trying to hone this message. Like, I don't know. I've lived a pretty different life, but it's kind of crazy like how a 21-year-old, at the time I was 18 when I got onto this path of self-improvement, how he could do that. How he could choose to just drop everything, most things. How he could like, I'm not a 60-year-old grandpa, bro, that doesn't know how to use a phone. Yeah, I don't really use Instagram and TikTok, and the type of content I watch is typically self-improvement content and like religious content, things that actually matter in my life. Like, I don't just go to YouTube and be like, I don't know what to watch. Let me just go on my YouTube recommended. Like, I don't do that. I don't know the last time I did that. Like, like, you know how most people go on YouTube just to like be fed? right? They don't even know why they're on YouTube. They just go on YouTube, whatever that interests them. Oh my God, KSI, Sidemen made a video. Oh, let me press on that. And then they just like go on that spiral for like 17 years until it's like freaking 9 p.m. They're like, oh, frick, I didn't finish any work today. I had homework. Oh my God. Like, I don't do that. Like, I have to be grateful to God, but like, it's crazy how a 21-year-old could do that, you know? It's like, it's getting hard sometimes because I don't know how to relate to people sometimes. Now, thankfully, I have friends that are also like more or less on this path. You know, I have friends that are on self-improvement. You know, they're growing. They're trying to reduce their consumption or whatever. So like, and I'm really grateful for that. Alhamdulillah. You gotta praise God for that. But it's crazy. But it all comes down to beliefs. Like my beliefs changed. The year of 2022. That's when my beliefs changed. I started off 2022 as a freaking loser. I got heartbroken. I started off as a loser. I was fat. I was overweight, I was ugly, but like that's when I got the first heartbreak and whatever. Yeah, now I'm gonna go to the gym. I still never went to the gym. Anyways, 2022, I started off as a dopamine addict. All the bad habits except drugs and alcohol. I never touched that crap in my life. Well, other than that, all the bad habits, bro. All the bad habits. Like woke up at like midday, scrolled for like 2 hours, went on TikTok, got out, brushed, bad food, video games. Like, it was just complete escape to the point where I almost failed grade 12. Somehow I passed because my parents helped me through private school. So I ended up passing and I ended up going to university. Now, university is when I'm so freaking tired of staying fat. So I just starved myself in university. I'll put some pictures to the point where I literally got so skinny because I went on vacation in the summer before university started. And that's when I starved myself. And then after that, university started, I felt like a new guy. I looked like the type of person I wanted to look like, which was like a TikTok e-boy kind of like oversized clothing type of thing. You know, it's like, it's whatever, you know, like, but I was like, I look like a freaking girl. Anyways, I went to university. I thought I was him, bro. I thought, yo, like, I look so good right now. Like, and I'm so, you know, whatever. I'll put some pictures, right? After that, got a second freaking heartbreak. Freaking same year. Got a second heartbreak the same freaking year. And that's when things started to catch up. That's when the glamour of the instant gratification lifestyle started to dim down, right? That's when life started catching up to me. That's when I started to fail university. I was almost gonna get kicked out of university if I didn't put my GPA high enough. That's when I started to see the world differently. That's when Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi and stuff were coming out. That's when they're saying the Matrix is coming. That's when I started to like, what is he talking about? I started to get curious, like, what is he talking about? And then he started talking about like feminine men. He started talking about like men that are not like respected, men, like people that waste their potential, how most people on this earth live their lives wasting their freaking potential, how most people on this earth are literally heedless. He's got a point, bro. Because if you think about it, successful people make up like how much percent of the population? Like people that are rich, successful, have status, have power, how much percent of the population do they actually make up? Very less. The other people, although I respect them, the rest of the people, like no one remembers them. No one remembers that they existed. I'm like in my head, like I wasn't like thinking they're introspective, but in my head I was like, he's got a point. Like for me, like I always wanted to be successful. Always, since the age of like freaking 8. Like I always wanted to be successful. Always wanted to be a professional football/soccer player, professional athlete. And because I was so fat, I gave up on this dream. I gave up on those dreams. I wanted to be a professional gamer. Again, gave up on that dream. I wanted to be a professional YouTuber. I guess I'm still doing that right now, so I guess I didn't give up on the dream yet. But I wanted to become jacked. I wanted to become like the Chad of my high school. I wanted to be the kid, because I was always a fat kid in school. I was always the kid who was never seen or noticed by people. So I wanted to be the kid who like had a crazy transformation. So like, you know, the next school year he came in and he was just freaking jacked and chiseled, and all the girls are like, oh my god, what happened to him? And then, you know, happily ever after, that also didn't happen because I still remained fat like a freaking loser. So the beliefs around my head started to change. In November of 2022, that's when I realized I'm wasting my potential. That's when I realized that my parents are out there working and they have to work like hours upon hours upon hours. And I don't want to let them work anymore, bro. I don't want to see them work. I don't want to see them slave away at a job. That's when I started to look at 9 to 5s as freaking slavery. Although you might not believe, like, you might think I'm a little bit crazy for believing this, and you might think, oh, you're too extreme. I think 9 to 5 jobs are slavery. I think it's a slavery. I think university and school, it's just made so you can just go work in a freaking workforce. There's no freedom, there's no money, there's no success, there's no time. There's none of that through a freaking job. None of that. There's no ambition. I started to look at universities as a freaking concentration camp at this point. But you know what I'm trying to say? My beliefs started to really shift around these times. And I realized, yo, I can't be living I can't be living the same way anymore. Like, if I truly want to be successful, because I've always wanted to be successful, I was telling this people I knew, like, yo bro, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make money, we're gonna make this social media marketing business, but I never got around to doing it. All I did was freaking play video games until 3 a.m. until this one night my dad opened the freaking door and then he saw me playing games and it was like 2 a.m. and I had school like the next day or the same day. It was past midnight and he just looked at me and I just felt ashamed. He didn't even say anything. He just looked at me, closed my door. I think he just said go back to sleep. But I can feel it in my heart, like, yo, he was probably disappointed in the freaking kid I was. He was disappointed that I was this freaking 18-year-old failing university, having nothing achieved, no respect for his name, just nothing, just freaking depressed, like having nothing in his life, having no clout, having no respect. Just like I'm a nobody, bro. I'm a freaking nobody at that point, And I was just playing video games just to pretend like I was somebody. I was playing these games so I could feel like a winner, but I'm not a winner. I was never a winner. I was a freaking depressed little kid with nothing going for me. And then that's when I started to realize instant gratification is poison. It's the poison that most people are living. Most people live day to day, chasing the next dopamine hit. And they just live their lives chasing the next pleasure. Most people think with their head, bro, but they think with the wrong head. They think with their freaking pee-pee. Most people just think with the next emotion. What do I feel like doing? What do I not feel like doing? What do I do? And the issue with going through emotions is that you're always you're never gonna do things that you actually should be doing because your brain doesn't want to go through hard work. And freaking the news flash for all of us is that, bro, success requires hard work. That's a news flash. Success requires work that you genuinely don't want to do, but you have to do it. I could be right now going and playing video games. I have a freaking laptop and a controller. I could go play video games right now. But I'm like, yo, I want to become successful. I want to build a sick YouTube channel with a community of like-minded individuals. This is what I want to do. So you know what I'm trying to say? My beliefs started to change. I always wanted to become a YouTuber. I realized, I'm going to become a YouTuber. I'm going to work. I'm going to do what I want to do. This is my business model, bro. I'm not going to go and work a freaking job that I don't have any interest in. Because I know the people that are freaking miserable. And they're making $0. They're working they're working 8 hours, sometimes overtime. And they're not making much money. I'm like, yo, I literally know people in my contact list that are making their yearly income in a month. And these guys get to travel and buy nice things or take care of their parents and have this financial freedom so they don't have to think about buying a freaking groceries, bro. They can just buy whatever, they can eat healthy and whatever. You know what I'm trying to say here? My beliefs started to change. And then my beliefs started to change how I am responsible for my life. I am responsible for my actions. If I'm a freaking man, I better be a man. Because I was not living like a man. And I'm also not living like a true man today. Pause. I'm not saying I'm a freaking transgender. I'm not saying transgender. I'm saying a man and a male are two different things. A man is a freaking man. A male is a freaking guy with a pee-pee. But he might not be a man. He might not be someone who's genuinely pushing hard, working hard, doing what he doesn't want to do, but he has to do anyways. Staying disciplined, like a guy with values. And so I started to realize I am responsible for my actions. And so I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. I had enough. I did not want to live like a loser anymore. I'm going to go on the self-improvement path. Boom. That's it. I'm going to go on the self-improvement path. Bro, at that point, I was seeking change. I don't care how much it freaking hurt me, bro. I needed it. Otherwise, I'm still going to be a nobody and a loser. And this path of self-improvement, with God's permission, man, it made me feel so good. This path of self-improvement is I get to delay gratification, but my future self is always in a better state. The only reason why I have muscles today is because my younger self went to the gym. With God's permission, my younger self went to the gym and he pushed hard and he had to research how to eat clean, how to eat better. He started to eat clean. Because he ate clean, I'm not freaking bloated and I don't look like a freaking balloon. Because he worked out, I have bigger muscles and I'm more confident. What the frick, bro? Because he started to, research more about testosterone and productivity and, diet. I'm in a better state. At that point, I just became obsessed with growing myself. I became obsessed with growing myself. I just wanted to see a different version of myself in the mirror. It's like the David Goggins incident. If you read the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, it's that same thing when he looked at himself in the mirror and he was like literally disappointed in the man he was. And he shaved his head, he became disciplined, the same freaking thing. Man, we all have goals that we want to reach, but most people gave up on those goals and they never reached them. Never think that the mediocre people that you see, the people in the regular people that have regular lives, that work a regular job, that have a regular car, that have whatever, like regular income, that have like a mediocre marriage, or like kind of skinny fat, they're not in great shape or nothing. Never think that these people never had dreams. These people have dreams. These people also want to become jacked. These people also want to become confident. These people also want to become successful. They just don't change because they think that it's like they have to be born with it. They have to be born with discipline, or they have to be born so they never actually take responsibility over their life. Most people can't blame themselves. Most people are not proactive, but being on self-improvement requires you to become proactive, requires you to look at yourself and look at your circumstances and be like, yo, I was probably slacking and that's why I'm living the life I'm living. But I can also change it with God's permission. I could change that. Like I could change. I could choose to cut those friends off. I could choose to work on that business. I could choose to wake up earlier. I'm saying this to myself as well, because even right now, I'm not even waking up that early right now. Like I wake up early, but I go back to sleep. And it's just like, I was just tired of the way I was living. I was tired of wasting my life playing video games and doing other bad habits and living without a purpose, living without a meaning. But I realized, the moment I got on self-improvement, the moment I became obsessed. That's all I watched. That's all I consumed. That's all I did. And I wasn't saying I'm perfect. I had many ups and downs, but I realized I'm going to be on this journey for the rest of my life. I'm going to be on self-improvement for the rest of my life until I freaking die. Because why would I not continuously improve myself? Why would I not continuously improve my situation, get better and get stronger and become a better man? Why would I not do that? The frick? Why would I slack off? Why would I not become more disciplined so I can become a stronger man? Why would I not sacrifice so I can reach greater heights? That's what life is about, making progress and growing. We all love making progress. Whether it's in a video game or whether it's in life, that's up to us to choose. You know what I'm trying to say here? We all love making progress. Progress is a part of all of our freaking DNA. This is why some nerds in school are so smart in school, not because they're born smart, because they found their video game in school. Their video game was getting good marks in school. They got that dopamine rush. They got that purpose, I'm gonna grind so I can get a good mark. That was their competition. That was their game. That was their sport. We all love making progress. Whether you're a nerd, whether you're autistic, I'm not even being rude. Whether you're autistic, whether you're something else, it doesn't freaking matter. We're all human beings. We all love making progress. We just love it. But it's whether you're actually progressing or not. Because if we're not progressing, we're freaking dying. This is why people are depressed. They're like, why is my life so bad? Why is my this so, why am I I'm such a loser? They just live in such a negative state. It's because, you're not growing. You're not growing. You're living like a freaking loser with nothing, no purpose, no meaning. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. But this is the life that we must live, bro. I view life with this purpose of, I'm just trying to not waste my potential. I'm trying to make the most out of my life. And I'm trying to die as a great person, as a great man, as a person who's fulfilled his potential, who's not wasted his life away, who's done his best to provide for his family, who's done his best to do good things on this earth, who's genuinely seen the best version of himself so he can be content. So just to finish it off, that's when I started to look at TikTok and junk food and these bad habits as Jeffrey activities, as activities that my loser self would do. Activities that people just the weak-minded individuals would do. And I didn't want to be a freaking weak-minded individual. No, I wanted to be a new individual. I wanted to be someone new, someone who eats clean, someone who wakes up early, someone who goes to the gym, someone who doesn't scroll on TikTok, because I'm becoming the best version of me. And I'd rather have real pleasure instead of artificial pleasure. I don't want to be someone who just gives into my desires every single time, who lives life mindlessly. And that's what delayed gratification is about. You suffer a little bit today so you can have a better tomorrow. and just continuous growth. Doesn't stop. So you suffer the next day so you can have a better tomorrow. You suffer the next day. You know what I'm trying to say? You keep suffering, but then tomorrow you get better. You keep suffering, but tomorrow you get better. There's ups and downs in life. Obviously, there's ups and downs in life, but that's what life is about. Continuous growth. The moment I got on self-improvement, that's when I started to really feel like this purpose. That's when I started getting closer to God. That's when I started to do things that actually improve my life. That's when I started to go into the gym. That's when I started to build this self-confidence and this new identity that I was building. I built a new man out of myself, you know? That's resulted in me, you know, being able to speak better communicator, better socializing, that increased my status, I built, you know, YouTube channels, more other businesses. I made some money from other businesses. I started to become an entrepreneur. I started to go to the gym. Obviously got more muscle, so I became like a fitness, a gym rat, whatever you want to call it. But I started to change my identity into the highest version of me. I am not saying I've reached the highest version of me, but so far, you know, I'm nowhere close to my potential. I'm nowhere close. And that's what gave me this progress, that's what gave me this purpose, getting progress. And my life became the video game in a way. My life became the video game. It just came with not wanting to be average. Yeah, boys. That's it, enough for this video. I know this video was a little bit long, but I really enjoyed making this, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to this. I love you boys so much. Follow my Instagram, first link in the description down below. And let me know what videos you want to see, bro. I'm trying to build this community. I'm trying to build this channel of people like me, bro. People like me that just want to improve and become better men. That want to become somebody, you know? That wants to become somebody that wants to achieve greatness, you know? That wants to achieve success. That wants to build that business. I've always wanted to do that. And I know you always want to do that. You always want to become successful, just like me. I always want to wake up at 6 a.m. and become productive. It's all about becoming a new man. It's all about becoming and raising our standards. It's all about raising our standards so we stop becoming weak individuals and we start having respect for ourselves. So others start having respect for us, that we become stronger and better versions of ourselves. That's all life is about, to become a somebody. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.